I don't know who needs to hear this, but you need to get your credit in order, man. Like one of the most powerful tools you can have that you're going to need in the future is going to be credit. A lot of people underestimate the power of credit, and I'm telling you, you're not getting anywhere in life if you don't have your credit right, right? Because you're going to need an extremely, extremely abundant amount of money if you actually want to be able to do anything without credit. Just because you need to do credit, you need credit in order to do anything. If you want to buy a house, buy a car, you need credit, right? So not having your credit in order is one of the most detrimental financial things and financial mistakes you can do. Like you can have, like honestly, like if you don't have your credit in order, you have negative accounts, you have late payments, all this, and that's the worst thing you can possibly do. Like you don't understand, like if you want to actually be successful, but to live a good life, you need to have your credit, right? You need to have your credit right. And I'm gonna explain exactly why this is so important, right? So by the age of like 19, 20 years old, I already had 700 credit score. Right, I already had 700 credit score because I was always knowledgeable on credit. I educated myself everything on credit building, and that's one of the most simple skill sets you can equip yourself with. That's gonna make you a lot more financially literate is by actually learning credit, a credit algorithm. It can be a lot confusing, because there's so many different components to it. But in a nutshell, what credit is essentially trust with the banks, right? Because if you go get a loan for something, right, in the US, if you go get a loan for something, like you want to get a house, right, you need a loan, right? A mortgage is just a loan, right? It just That's just what you call a mortgage for a house. I mean, a loan for a house, a mortgage. If you go get a loan for a car, you call it an auto loan, right? But it's like you're getting the money lended to you, right? These banks are lenders, right? They're lending their money to you. So it's like, okay, bro, like take it like this. Like if you go to the bank and the bank does not understand, the bank do not know you, right? They do not know you. They don't know you already. All they know is your social security, right? That social security is tied to your credit score. So every single thing you're doing to your payments, if you go get a house, like you're renting a house and stuff like that, all that is in your name, right? So if you was late and you are not paying your rent, guess what? The landlord is then gonna put it and file in court to actually get that put onto your name, right? To make sure they get everything to get put in your name. I hate this person got evicted. It was not paying their rent. I evicted them. I had to kick them out, right? So they use these things as a factor to approve you, whether they're going to approve you or deny you, and also your interest rates on how much they're going to charge you for giving you that money. All right. So if they don't know you, how they know they can trust you is by your credit score. So if you have a low credit score, they cannot trust you. And if it's too low, they will not trust you. They will not give you that money. If it's high, they're like, we can trust you. And if it's super high and it's good credit profile, then like, okay, we're gonna trust you. We know you're responsible money just by looking at your credit score, that we're gonna give you the money and we're gonna give you a super low interest rate. We're barely gonna charge you any interest for being so good with the actual with your actual credit, right? Because when you go get your first credit card, right? That's how you build your credit. You go get a credit card. You go get a credit card or credit builders, right? And so you go get a credit card and you go to the bank, you get a credit card. Now you have a credit card in your name and they give you $1,000 balance, right? $1,000 limit. And now you're using it every single month. You use the credit card, you pay it off in full at the end of every single month. And you do that for, let's say, 1 to 2 years. Okay, now guess what? You go to the bank, they pull your credit, they see, oh, you've had this $1,000 credit limit and you've paid it off 100% on time every single time. And now also you've never missed a payment, right? Versus somebody who comes and then they have a bad credit score because guess what? They had $1,000 credit card, and then every single time they were paying it off, they were late on it, right? They had two late payments, and then it's like, who do I want to trust more? The person who has never missed a payment, or the person who has two late payments, right? And has a high balance. This person has 100% balance on his card. They don't pay it off in full. I will not trust the person with a high balance, right? Think of it just like this. If you was lending a friend money and you know this friend in particular it never pays back the money, or it takes forever to pay back the money and stuff like that. Or like miss deadline. Say for example, like, hey bro, I need money back by Friday. Like, oh yeah, I'm gonna give it to you, and then they'll give it to like 3 months later. You see what I'm saying? So it's like they look at that, and that's essentially what they're looking at when they look at your credit profile, right? And then another thing they're looking at is different mix of credit. If you're going for a big loan, like for a house or something like that, right? Guess what? They're gonna look at different types of credit. So like I bet they don't see that you got credit cards. They want to see that you have auto loans. They want to see you're good at handling different types of debt, right? It's not just credit cards. They want to see that you're good at, maybe you went and got a small personal loan. You went and got a personal loan for whatever, a rehab. You're trying to fix something in your house, whatever you're trying to make, whatever you're trying to do. Maybe student loans. That's a different mix of loans, right? So they want to see that you're good at handling money, that you are a trustworthy person. They can actually lend their money to you. Think of the bank as a person. If I know that you're somebody who is not good with money, you're always late, why would I lend money to you? All right, so what you need to start doing is, credit is a lot. There's a lot to do. If you go to my main YouTube channel, Melanin King, you will see I have a ton of videos, playlists on credit specifically, hour-long videos, 2-hour-long videos, breaking down step by step. If you have negative accounts, meaning you already missed payments on your credit, guess what? You have to do something called credit repair. You have to start repairing your credit and start removing those negative items off your credit. Because if you have something, any late payments within the last 2 years, is going to affect you. If you have collections, right, you did not pay off some debt and now it's put into collection, you have to remove it. Guess what? It's going to get you denied or have you get high interest rates, right? And the difference between the interest rates that is good and bad is literally can be the difference of paying a few $1,000s to hundreds of thousands of dollars on interest on a loan. Like, for example, if you go buy a house, somebody with a good interest rate, let's say they get 3%, and somebody with bad interest rate, because they have a bad credit score, let's say they get 6% or 7%, right? It's just 6%. That is the difference of hundreds of thousands of dollars over the lifetime of the actual loan, right? A lot of time you don't even notice, but it costs you to have bad credit. If me and you was to go apply for an auto loan, guess what? I would get, even if we both got approved, I would get a 7% interest rate, while you would get a 10%, while you get 11%, 12%, 20% even, right? They will literally do you so dirty, depending on how bad your credit is. Simply because I have a better credit score, I got to save a lot more money in interest, right? And you may not know it, but guess what? My monthly payment might be $500 a month. Your monthly payment is going to be $800, $900,000 a month, simply because you have bad credit, right? So it costs you to have bad credit. So make sure you get your credit aligned and make sure you get your credit in order. If you want an in-depth video, once again, go to Melanin King on YouTube and check out those videos, right? So make sure you get your credit. That's one of the most detrimental things you can do is having bad credit, right? So that's the one thing you need to make sure you have going to 2026. Get your credit in order. And I'll catch y'all on the next one. All right, y'all.